This is a video from Module 5, Question 13, and here we are looking at a random sample of 40 adults with no children, and they have their mean daily leisure time and standard deviation of their leisure time, and a random sample of 40 adults with children and their leisure time and standard deviation. So we're constructing and interpreting a 95% confidence interval for the mean difference in leisure time between adults with no children and adults with children. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is use StatCrunch. I think it's the easiest to do. So if we go here, we're going to do question help, and we're going to click StatCrunch to open that in another window. Okay, now here what they've given us, they haven't given us all the data. They've given us the summary of the data. We have the mean, we have the standard deviation for both samples. Now notice this is a confidence interval for the mean. That means we're going to use t-statistics. Okay, if we were doing this for a proportion, we would use proportion stats. But here we'll use t-statistics because it's a mean. So we're going to press stat, t-stats, to sample, and again we have the summary. We already have the mean and the standard deviation, so we're going to click with summary. So now it's just important that we put the correct samples in for each one. So if you look here, they're saying mu1 minus mu2, so it's the mean difference in leisure time between adults with no kids, so they're coming first, and adults with children. So the adults with no kids have a mean of 5.74. So I'm going to put that in, 5.74. They have a standard deviation of 2.43, so I'll put that in, 2.43. And they used 40, I believe, participants for each sample. Okay. Now the adults with children, they had a mean leisure time of 4.24, so 4.24. And they had a standard deviation of 1.57. So we'll put 1.57 here. And again, their sample size was also 40. Now we're constructing a 95% confidence interval, so we're going to just click under this perform, switch this to confidence interval, and click compute. And we can see here what it gives us. It gives us our sample difference, standard error, degrees of freedom, and here is your lower limit and your upper limit. So it looks like our lower limit, let me see if what we're rounding to here. Looks like we're rounding to 2 decimal places. You can see they got 0.59 and 2.41. So you can see we're going to do 0.59 because this 8 has a 6 next to it. We rounded to a 9. And 2.41, the 1 stays the same because there's a 3 next to it. 4 below, we stay the same. 5 or above, we round up. Okay. Now, to interpret the confidence interval, there's usually a little formula here. And again, you can go to your text and it kind of shows you how to do the interpretation. But this is the standard interpretation here. There is a 95% confidence that the difference of means is in the interval. And a lot of times we would actually put that in the context of the problem if we were writing it out ourselves. So we'd say there's 95% confidence that the difference of the means is between 0.59 hours to 2.41 hours. They're being a little lazy here, okay? So they're concluding that there is a significant difference in the number of leisure hours. And if you have any more questions on this problem, just let me know, but it's made so much easier if you do use StatCrunch.